Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rereski Astuti from English Literature Class A. In this video, I will explain the material about conditional sentence. Okay, let's get started. Nah, this slide is a mind mapping about conditional sentence. This slide has the meaning of conditional sentence, their function, and types. So, for further discussion, let's watch the next video. Conditional sentence. The meaning of conditional sentence. A conditional sentence is compound sentence that has a condition of imagination, supposition, and something that has never happened. This presupposition express may or may not realize it. A conditional sentence consists of an independent clause and a dependent clause which usually start with the word if. A sentence consisting of these two clauses can then be called a conditional sentence. However, there are some sentences that can start with when. And the next is the formula and the example. The form of conditional sentence is an if clause plus main clause. If clause is a clause that is part of the presupposition. The main clause is a sentence that contains the consequences of the conditional at the beginning of the sentence. In addition, the conditional sentence formula can also be reversed into a main clause plus if clause. For example, my sister can have dessert if she finishes her homework. The beginning of the sentence is the main clause and is followed by an if clause. And the next is function. There are three functions of conditional sentence. Namely, the first is to assume something will happen in the future. The second, to rely on something that wasn't possible right now. And the third, to assume something has happened in the past. Types of conditional sentence. Conditional sentence type 0. For the first type, this is actually still simple and very easy to understand. Conditional sentence 0 is used to express a fact with the formula if, then. In Indonesian, for example like this. Jika hujan turun, maka jalanan akan basah. The sentences is called conditional sentence 0 because they reveal a common fact that many people know. Conditional 0 is usually found in the present tense. For the formula of the conditional sentence type 0 is if plus simple present, simple present, and simple present plus if plus simple present. For example, if you drink a glass of milk before you sleep well. The sentence above is a fact many people already know, the fact that drinking milk before bed can make sleep more sound. And the next is conditional sentence type 1. Conditional sentence type 1 is a form of conditional sentence that is used to express when a consequence or result is likely to occur in the future. This can happen because it is still realistic or reasonable for the possibility of that assumption to occur. Therefore, the first conditional sentence uses a sentence with a simple future. For formula of conditional sentence type 1 is if plus simple present, simple future tense, and simple future plus if plus simple present. For example, if you tell your mom the truth, she will forgive you. The sentence above starts that there is still a possibility that if he is honest with his mother, there is still a possibility that his mother will forgive him. In addition, the first conditional sentence can also be used to give instruction or advice. However, what is used is not will anymore, but imperative mood. Imperative is a form of a verb, more precisely mood. This form express an order, explic, request, and so on. For example, if you don't like coffee, don't drink. The next is conditional sentence type 2. A conditional sentence type 2 is a sentence that is used to express when a consequence or result can be realized even though the probability is very small for it to happen. Conditional sentence type 2 are very suitable to be used to express arrogance and wishful thinking, although it may not necessarily happen, but it can also become a reality. The conditional sentence type 2 uses would, could, and might, which is used to explain how much the condition will occur. For formula of conditional sentence type 2 is if plus past tense past future, and past future plus if plus past tense. For example, if I won the lottery, would go on a trip around the world with you. The sentence above means that he will take his friend around the world if he wins the lottery, but there is a very small chance that Speak will win the lottery. When using a second conditional sentence to give advice, usually use the phrase if I were. For example, I wouldn't be thinking about it if I were you. And the last is conditional sentence type 3. A conditional sentence type 3 is used when you want to express a condition that cannot possibly be realized at all. This is because the conditions expressed are impossible or just an imagination. This third conditional sentence also expresses something that is contrary to what has happened in the past. In the third type of conditional sentence, in the past perfect tense is used, an auxiliary modal is also added. Would, should, and could. For formula of conditional sentence type 3 is if plus past tense, future perfect, and future perfect plus if plus past perfect. For example, my grades were good. I would have gotten a better job. From this sentence, we can tell that his speaker did not have good grades during his studies, and he is currently not getting a job that he thinks is good. Maybe just it for me. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.